Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our site and our live show here. Always make sure to check out dolphinsthirsty.com for all the latest things Miami Dolphins. There's OTA blog up there right now, and there's also some Miami Dolphins trivia, all the fun stuff when there's not a lot of news popping out, but there's always something Dolphins related. So please make sure you like and subscribe here on YouTube. And Justin, good morning out in Colorado. You're a little bit tired this morning, but you still joined the show, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man. Glad to talk to all you guys this morning. Like Rob just said, we got minimal Dolphins news, but OTAs have started, so we do have that going on for all you Fins fans out there. I'm sure the hangover is pretty deep after last night's little thump on the backside there for that Heat squad there. They'll have to try to rebound, right, and take this thing down to get to the finals.
Against your Denver Nuggets that you're all excited for. So.
Oh yeah, man, it was exciting. Like everybody had went to sleep, and like my wife was asleep, and grandma's asleep. Dogs are all in bed, and the Nuggets, when they did win, though, I was pretty emotional. Let out a little yell, and
well, I know you've been rooting for them for a long time. So anyway, real quick, let's take care of business here. Ender, good morning. Anthony,
morning.
Good morning to both of you guys. And Anthony
What's
already
up,
has
guys?
a few questions. Let's see. And I noticed this recently, the most successful coaches in the NFL when it comes to the position is mainly offensive line. It's rare that you see a quarterback be a successful head coach. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that is true. I guess he's talking about players that become coaches somewhere down the line or whatever. So this is true. Well, it's also, especially if you're a big star quarterback, you get so much money that it's like hard to be like motivated to like, oh, do I really want to do the rigors of being a coach and doing all of this? So it makes it tough. But for sure, that is a good point. Also, he had said something else in here.
No, that's a great point. A lot of them do. They know it's the line of scrimmage, bro. That's where the game's won and lost. So a lot of them make good head coaches. You have to have a demeanor for it and be ready to whatever's going to throw at you and be ready to change. And that's kind of like line of scrimmage play on both sides.
Yeah, I know. That's why a lot of these coaches are like that. Rob, did you see during the Heat game when he showed the video of the bench that Mike? Yes, I did see that. It was all over. So it was cool and stuff. And, but he seems fired up. But like I say, it does put pressure on the Dolphins to win, man. All these local teams are winning. The bar set high. So come on, Dolphins. Let's go jump that bar. And Anthony, if you want to join, just ask for the link, and I will put the link in there for you to join. And that goes for you too, Ender. One of these days, I would love to have you actually come join our show live. And, of course, when we get G-Man later in the house out of
G-Man in the house. Yeah, I was going to say my buddy Kevin says he still watches our show every morning too. And he'll come on there and say what's up, but he gets in a little late, so he has to go back and rewatch the show. And I was like, dude, come on in there. We'll drop you a link. You can come on and talk football with us. And, there's my boy. Look, Dr. Reggie Brown says on Monday it's official. He'll be on summer vacation, so maybe we could get some Reggie Brown in the house.
Oh, that would be great. Let me get the link ready for Anthony here. But, that'd be awesome. Talk all things Miami Dolphins. And I'm afraid, guys, remember this is live. If my dog goes crazy here in 2 seconds, he's going to hear the garage door opening.
Garage door go open, that means the dog.
Yeah, it's opening right now, and I can't believe he's not going crazy.
In his old age,
he's shocked. He's shocking the world. Yeah, no, he's sitting up, but he's not barking yet.
Oh wow.
So anyway, there's a link, Anthony. But that'd be great to have him come on. And I mean, Reggie always brings it. Really good, knowledgeable, former NFL player. What more can you ask for?
I know,
he's
right?
a smart dude, principal, and all of that kind of stuff. So always a pleasure to have the Dr. Reggie Brown,
Yeah,
former
he's
Washington
awesome, man.
Oilers receiver. So
I
anyway,
just like
here's
talking to him,
Anthony. I'm going to bring Anthony in and let you guys talk real quick. Good
Did,
morning,
did you
Anthony.
see the? Hey, Justin,
What's up,
did you
dude?
see the combo that me and Rob were having back and forth in the chat before
No, I don't
No.
think he
about
saw it.
McDaniel?
What about him?
No, but what I was telling Rob was for in order for me to give this title of offensive guru to a guy like a McDaniel, he needs to evolve the West Coast offense. That was the antithesis of that title, guru, that they were in evolving the offense that they started with and stuff like that. And I used Mike Leach as a perfect example. He learned the air raid offense from Hal Mummy when he was at Mississippi, at Kentucky. When he got to the Red Raiders, he evolved the offense there. Then it got to the point where you see it now with Kingsbury and Riley. Now, like that's the point of that title, the guru title, is that they were evolving the offense as it went through college football or in the pros and stuff like that. That's what I want to see with McDaniels, evolving not just using the base West Coast. The West Coast offense can be very. I'm not sure if you
Right.
agree with this. The West Coast offense is very dated, kind of. That offense is very dated. It was developed at a time where the league was focused on the run game instead of the pass game and
Right.
stuff
And
like
it's
that. So that's what people
going
need to
there.
realize, that scheme was developed at a time when the run game was dominant and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
Where
you're,
teams
but
were.
It was
you're
dominated
100%
in
right,
the.
Anthony. To be
Yep.
considered a guru, you got to be come up with something that others aren't doing and that others copy, and that they're like, oh man, this guy coming. You got to be inventive and come up with something like Bill Walsh, basically back in the day.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the inventor of it right there.
so that's
Yeah,
it. You
no,
now
no,
it's
and
time
this
for
is
him.
why I said in my comment, talking about he needs to add more spread, air raid, and run and shoot concepts into his offense to evolve the West Coast offense to make it more. I want it to be more what you see with the West. Andy Reid's offense is not a traditional West Coast offense. Do we agree? It's not a
Yeah.
what we would consider a traditional West Coast. He has spread concepts and run and shoot and air raid concepts in his offense. Am I
think
correct?
the thing about Andy Reid is he made that stuff. That's like his own version of the West Coast offense when he threw his own sprinkles into there and does his own thing. He's very inventive, very creative, and he kind of throw his own wrinkles into the West Coast offense. And yeah, I agree with you. It's not a traditional West Coast because it's his. And I also agree with your statements about McDaniel. You want to see him evolve and make the West Coast offense into his own wrinkle. And I think you'll see that
instead of copying Shanahan.
Yeah, I think you'll see him do his own wrinkles of it. And the reason why is because as you evolve and your team starts to stack up the players you want, like the Eric Izukamas, the Devon Achains, I'll use Ryan Hayes because they drafted him, but a lot linemen you put in the certain mix that'll fit that scheme that you're trying to run, or the tight ends like the Higgins, guys who fit the scheme with what you're trying to run. I think you'll see more of that West Coast offense. If you're not familiar with it, obviously it's somebody who you're going to throw it short and they're going to do the rest of the work for you. We do most of that here now, so
I can tell Justin. Well, I know you want a lot more running game involved in the offense too, though. I mean, you really want that balance. I know because you've been very big on ever since I've known you, which is about going on a year now, and you've been pounding the table.
Justin, I understand why you want the running game. I understand why you want the running game to be more of an emphasis, but as fans, we need to realize, in general, the NFL is moving away from the running game. They're using the short passing game as the running game, like
I
Yeah, a lot of
understand.
teams are
those
doing
swing
that, but
passes and stuff like
That's
that
been
to the
going
running
on for
backs. That's what
years.
they're using as a running game,
Yeah,
as a
I know. It's been
replacement for
going
the
on
running
for
game.
years.
They're not
That's
using what we consider a traditional
back
running
them
game.
tricks, baby.
Well,
that's Hank.
What's up, dog? What's up, Hank? That's my dog. Hey,
Sorry,
I
Anthony,
agree.
didn't mean to. Go
Yeah,
on,
I
Anthony.
agree with
We're
you.
listening to you about the
no,
running game.
but you understand what I'm saying?
No, I do.
The NFL is moving away from what we consider a traditional running game, where it's running between the tackles. What they're
Yes.
doing is using the short passing game, short passes, and the swing passes for the running back as the running game instead. So
It's just
I
like
understand
the
what you want. You want more of the traditional running game, but
yes.
the NFL is moving away from that.
Well, I
As
want to
fans,
keep
we
going.
need to realize that.
I'll be
I
honest
know.
with
I
you,
think
man.
we are relying, but that's how
It'll
you're a
always be
guru.
there.
That's when you switch back to doing another way. Because when everyone's doing one way, then you should switch to another way and say, no, make them prepare for this stuff. So I
Yeah,
agree
no,
with
he's
you.
right.
Just a good mix. A balanced attack is the best attack in
Just
my
like the
book.
Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs have a running game. Just like Anthony said, they use a short passing game,
Right.
swing passes, Texas routes, dump off to the backs,
Jet sweeps and stuff
jet
like that.
sweeps and stuff like that they use in that offense because that's the kind of stuff he's trying to run. And he's right. A short pass is just as good as a 5-yard run. And it's the same thing with the Dolphins offense. I think they use those short swings, those short passes is just as good as a run. But with that being said, when you get into these playoff games and you get into November, December months, I think you still use those concepts, but the concepts what you say is dying in the NFL is still very much alive and well and being used in these sets.
In the play,
Power
I agree with you. Regular season and playoff football are two different animals.
It's two different things. And if you're not going to have a running game and a power running game and someone where you're like, yo, I need 3 yards and the dude gives you 4, then to me you don't have a football team. You have to have this running game that I'm alluding to, and the reason why is because that's why we lost last year. When you get into these situations where you're like, yo, they're shutting everything down on the outside, the middle's being taken up by some great linebackers and safeties like the 49ers, you need to run the damn ball. So when it comes into 3rd and 4, even 3rd and 6 concepts, and I'm sitting there with the play chart in front of my
You're getting a little carried away on the 3rd and 6 now.
I'm not playing, dude. I'm not playing at all. I would run the
I
ball.
know you're not.
And then when you see me run and I start pulling these pin and pulls and I'm getting first downs with it, you wouldn't say that nowhere. You'd be like, let him run the offense. Then I would turn around right there after I got that first down.
But it's a big chunk. But
Yeah, no. Well, what I want to see more of when it comes to the running game specifically, I'm going to use some Madden examples for the run. Since we're running in outside zone scheme,
so far.
Yeah, you had touched on that in a few.
What were you? I want to see us using more ISO, and like more of the pitches, like more outside zone pitches and stuff like that, and like the what you said, wham, the wham blocking and stuff like that.
I'd like to see that too.
Yeah, no, that's the type of running plays we need to focus with our scheme, the outside zone scheme. Those type of plays are what works with that type of offense. The wham blocking, what you talk about, Justin, and stuff like that. The wham and all those ISO blocking schemes. ISO
stretch right, stretch left, all that stuff, bro. Like that's how you start breaking these defenses down.
And I think A-Chain's going to be a good weapon as
I was just going to talk about that.
I think he's going to mention it. He is like that's a McDaniel pick without a doubt. Just like the first pick, Cam Smith was a Fangio pick without a doubt. This guy is going to come in, and they're going to. I think he's not going to be one of these. Oh, we're going to keep on waiting for the rookie. I think this time we're actually. Oh, we're going to have a special guest here.
I think the plan for A-Chain is going to be something similar to the way the Niners use Deebo Samuel. It's going to be a trigger man, somebody you can use in motion, use as a sniffer, use as a decoy, use as a weapon. Give him the ball out of the backfield. You're going to throw it to him. You're going to hand it to him. You're going to use him in numerous different ways. Hank,
what's up, fellas?
What's going on?
It's all good, man. Welcome. So how's
talking about the A-Train from A-Train, right?
Yes,
that's
it. A-Train.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm all about some of that, especially being some of the other players are already talking him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I know everyone seems to be. I'm gonna change the banner here a little bit. Listen.
Re-watching his tape again, going into his draft. I said Tyreek Cohen and the other running back, but I see a little bit of Shady McCoy in him.
Yeah,
Shady.
there you go, right there. That's a great
Hey,
comparison.
we would take
him.
that.
Yeah,
So,
I'll take that.
Yeah. So real quick,
Yeah,
Hank,
no,
how's
how we
everything?
run, because
Well, sorry. Go on, Anthony. I thought you were done.
yeah,
Go
no,
on,
but
Anthony.
what we need to remember is Shady, even though he was such a small back, he ran straight up. He didn't hunch over. He ran like a taller back, which that's why I think he had injuries later on in his career, because being that he's such a small back, running straight up like that is not conducive to a healthy career and stuff like that. That's why I say A-Chain is like that. Like A-Chain tends to run up straight up. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm talking about, Justin? When a running back runs,
Yeah,
like,
I know what you're saying.
he runs very stiff.
Yeah, but
kind
he's also 5'8", so he's already low to the ground as it is. So it's like we're fine, we're good with.
He's built like a fire hydrant.
No,
he is, and that's
exactly
those are
what I
some
want.
successful backs. But anyway, Hank, how are you, man? It's good to have you here.
Hey, I'm doing great. I saw your plug on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I can finally catch it. I'm finally on time.
Well, that's good.
I'm usually off timing with you folks, so
yeah, I know. I understand why. Hey, but I'm happy today. We're going to try to do more prime time stuff and work in conjunction and all that. So that's great, man. Trying to figure out good times is, for everyone to get together is kind of hard.
That, and I saw J-Dog was on, and I'm like, hey, how many bricks we got now on the team out of 50?
Oh, man,
how
it's
many
stacking.
we got now?
It's stacking, brother.
I don't think do you have an updated count, or you're going to have to get closer to the season?
High 40, right?
Yeah, I think as we get closer to the season, I'll have that coming up. I know we're over 40 for sure. Oh, yeah.
Hank, I asked Rob this question yesterday. I want your question because you've been a Dolphins fan longer than most of us. Who is your favorite? Who is the most underrated Dolphin that nobody really talks about anymore, that doesn't get enough respect, in your opinion?
Well, the only person that I can think of that never really got the respect that they should have, that has done something that most people even today haven't done, would be Jake Scott, the original number 13.
Yeah. No, he was really great back in the day. That was a little before my time. I remember with A.J. Dewey and Bob Dzinski.
Yeah. Dewey got his credit, though. You got to admit, Dewey got a lot of credit.
Yeah.
The guy I think that people don't talk about because we traded for him from another team because he didn't start out as a Dolphin is Paul Warfield. Warfield really doesn't get enough respect because he started with the Browns before he became a Dolphin and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what, Paul Warfield was known as a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, he's
our fan base doesn't give him enough respect because he started with another team, is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I give him all the respect, man.
You saw him play. I'm talking about my generation. I'm talking about my generation.
Do I get my guy? Do I get my pick?
Yeah, of course
you do.
Okay, well, my guy, honestly, is probably a lot of fans, one of the most hated players in Dolphins history, but he's one of my favorite. And that's only because nothing he did off the field or said, but the way he played the game of football. And that would be Richie Incognito.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That is awesome. Oh, Hank.
Oh, we lost Hanker.
We lost Hank. But yeah, that was a good one.
The guy I saw play that nobody talks about a lot is Sammy Knight.
Oh, he was great, dude. I love some Sammy Knight, dude. Come on now. Sammy Knight was awesome.
Yeah, no,
people forget he was a great cover safety. He wasn't just a traditional strong safety. He was able to cover. They were able to switch him and who was his partner back then? Damn it! Who was the safety that played with him?
Damn, I remember who it was. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Was it Chris Clemens?
No, it was the old man. Remember, he played forever. Remember, he had like gray hair. Always would play still too. Damn, what was the dude's name? came
I was getting
originally
the double feedback. You guys were talking, and I had the show on, and there was a delay.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, no
no.
problem, man. That's good.
And
Hey,
it kept
we like
doubling. It kept
that's
doubling. I'm
fine.
like, I can't hear what they're saying.
We want to hear our own voices. It's
Yeah,
okay, Hank.
exactly. It's
We like
fine.
hearing our own voices.
Those dudes' name.
But
Got
all
number
those guys
2
are
on
great.
today.
Yeah.
Number
cool.
2.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Chubby.
cool.
Get a little chubby going.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing that you already got the Chubb jersey rocking. That's good stuff,
That's
man.
sweet.
Hey, I had to come and hunt you down, Thirsty, because I noticed you're using my car.
I know exactly. I told
Yeah,
you, though.
You know, and I had no problem at first. Then I noticed you removed my tag off the car.
Well, of course, I'm going to take your what?
No, you can't do that, man. You got to be
I thought you meant
advertising me.
That's the only photo I have of you. That's the only car I have. I don't have. What you mean a tag on the car, or
They're still correcting. They're still correcting some things with the design because that was the old.
see, that's the only one I have. I let you roll, and I always, I let people know where it comes from when they ask me. They go, "Hey, where's that come from?" And I even have put you in the pictures. But yeah, I know you got a new one in there, and I didn't download that picture.
Yeah, there's a new one coming because they have messed up a few elements, and that's why I'm taking my time with this design. I mean, if I'm gonna have something on my car on a $120,000 car, I want it to be nice. I don't want it to be simple. And they tried to give me a simple design, and I wasn't down for that. So we had.
You're like, I need something more.
You have a Corvette, Hank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Once it wrapped with the Dolphin, I've been sharing a picture, but I will make sure you get all your credit, Hank. Don't worry.
Hey, don't worry. I'll give you the updated one. This way you can use that one. It looks better with the red calipers on my car.
Yeah, see, I don't have that one. I just got the one that has the Dolphins logo straight. I know now you have one with your names on it and everything for your show. I mean, for your network and all that stuff.
But you never know. You never know. Next month, you might actually get a picture of the car wrapped.
Oh wow! Hey, that'd really be good.
Hey, if these design people, because I'm working with somebody over in Europe actually.
Oh wow!
And I wanted a specific design, and I wanted these people to make it happen. So I'm paying them for this design. We've been working on it for a month and a half now.
Well, it's going to look sharp. The Corvette's already a sharp-looking car, so.
Right.
Yeah, I got.
Wait, do you have the Z06 or the Z51?
This
Hank.
It has the Z51 package, but it is the Stingray. It's a 2023 Corvette. It's a convertible.
Oh, you have the convertible or the coupe?
It's a convertible.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you this much.
It's
not that fast, guys. Let me tell you, because I raced a 911 yesterday. All right. And let me tell you, that 911 just ate me up.
Yeah, they're fast.
Ate me up and spit me. We got up to 118, and that's when it looked like he shifted into third gear and did this and kept on going.
Yeah, those European sports it seems like the American sports cars focus more on high performance, like in terms of horsepower, but the European sports cars like that focus on overall performance of the car instead of just pure horsepower and stuff like that. That's why if I had enough money, I would get a Aston Martin or something like that.
Yeah, the American cars are trying to do the how long does it take to get up to 60 and how long does it take to get in a quarter mile, whereas the European cars, they're making them so that they go and go on the Autobahn.
No, they designed those cars for track run. Like those cars, most of those cars actually are designed, modeled after their racing performance transitions into their actual production cars. The European cars actually their racing performance side transitions into how they build their production cars and stuff like that.
No, I agree. But anyway, let's get back to football.
Yeah, I was about to say we're talking too much cars here.
Talking cars here?
Yeah, you brought up your Corvette.
Yeah, I know, but we're just teasing. But yeah, it is a beautiful car. But yeah, but hopefully the Dolphins go racing into the playoffs this year is what we want. We want them because the Heat And the Panthers have set the bar high here in South Florida. Yes, they haven't closed out their series yet, but just to get to the conference finals is way above what the Dolphins have done since the.
Did you see the video during the game that McDaniel was on the bench talking to Spoelstra?
Yeah, that was cool stuff. And he was also out there like waving the Heat little thing. So he's having a good time watching these teams win. But now it's time for the Dolphins to do their share of the winning.
So what do you guys think as far as in the AFC division? How do you think Miami,
the conference or in our AFC East specifically?
In our AFC East division, in our division in the East,
right.
Where do you think Miami's sitting right now between all four teams? Where do you guys have all four teams stacking right now?
I would still go Buffalo. Okay, you go first. I was going to say Buffalo just out of respect of you're the best until someone takes you up, knocks you off your perch. You're still the king of the division. So I give them that. But do I think we can beat them? Yes. But right now, I give them the number one. And I think we are still ahead of the Jets, if I had to say it. And then it's the Jets and the Patriots. How about you, Justin?
I'll be honest, man. I think the quarterback for the Jets is a big deal. I don't know how big you guys think it is because they've already got a defense, and we know that. But I'll say Buffalo, the Jets by the slimmest margin, the Dolphins, and then the Patriots.
Yeah, for me, I have it the Bills, like Rob said. The Jets because of Aaron Rodgers.
That's
and
why
stuff like that.
Yep.
And then us, then we're gonna be beating everybody in that conference in our division is gonna be beat up on the Patriots. They're basically a rebuilding team. They already gave up on Mac Jones, basically. So they're a rebuilding team waiting to draft a quarterback next year. So
I don't know.
Okay, so of course I'm setting all you guys up.
Yeah.
You would.
For me personally, I have the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets tie. I have them all together knotted up at the top. And let me tell you why, guys, okay?
I like that.
You have our third string quarterback going in there at the end of the year and practically pulling off an upset. Okay? That's the first thing. That's starting to tell you the direction our team was headed.
Tells you that we're a lot closer than anybody gives us credit for.
Exactly. And that's just because we had a depleted defense and things of that nature. Yep. Otherwise, we probably would have won that game.
Should have our starting quarterback, we win that game.
Which was weird. You know what I mean? But we don't know if we can rely on the starting quarterback. So I'm going with the overall team because him missing is part of the overall team. You know what I mean, J-Dog?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I like the fact that we almost beat them. So that, to me, starts us off even with the Bills as far as we gained more talent in the offseason, and we've done more moves to progress than the Bills have, to be honest with you, this year. Last year, the Bills knocked it out of the park. Not so much this year, though, not compared to the Jets and us. Now, the Jets, here's why I think they're even with us. Because you have the Jets, they turned around and they blew it up last year. We all know that they killed it last year in the draft. And this year they didn't fall short again.
No, they're hitting the draft for sure. And you add Rodgers. I know.
And then you got Rodgers in there. So the only thing, the reason why I don't have the Jets over us, J-Dog, is simple. Because they haven't been a unit like the Dolphins offense has been a unit for the past couple years.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
We're
bringing in Aaron
to gel.
Yeah, we're bringing in Aaron, and we brought 2 wide receivers so that he would gel quick and that they can talk with the other receivers so they know what he's looking for, what head move, what head bob, up, down, this way.
So in one way or another, you kind of see the Aaron Rodgers move maybe going the same way as the Broncos getting Russell Wilson last year, and they'll struggle to have chemistry and cohesion right off the bat, and they will struggle a little bit. Is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm just thinking that they're not as complete. I don't think that he's going to struggle that bad.
Because I see it going one way or another. They're either going to be really, really, really good, or they're going to be bad, really bad, like the Broncos were last year.
And hey, Hank, you forgot to mention one thing, too. You forgot to mention one thing. too. They brought his blindside blocker and Bakhtiari to the Jets to be the
Theme song for
left
Hank.
tackle.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I don't know if you make my theme song for Dolphin Thursday, or do you have a theme song for your show, Hank?
No, he wants you to play the Dolphins song is what it is.
Oh.
I know it.
The Miami Dolphins
Yep,
fight
that's
song.
what he's
Okay.
saying. For Hank.
Hey, that's all good. But
See, I'm not as technically advanced as you guys. I just come up and my wife and I, we talk and on Sunday.
Your show's
That's
good.
cool.
When can they find you? I know it's Sunday morning. At what time?
Sunday morning at 8. We just come up for anywhere between 10 minutes and 20 minutes. We're not up long at all.
Chill.
We're just ours is mainly Twitter based. I don't have like a bunch of YouTubers and YouTube subscribers like you guys do. Like you have 190 now, I noticed.
I know, slowly taking the steps, things
I
that
like
people
it.
like Anthony
I have
and
4. I think I have 4.
Hey, but that's
It's
good.
gonna grow.
You get seen there on. So let's see. Here's a little Miami Dolphin fight song for you in there. If that's what you're talking about.
Right.
Miami has the Dolphins, the
Greatest
football team. We take the gold,
There you go in there. Or if you meant the Dolphins,
Don't get copyrighted.
I
Don't
could
get
play the whole
copyrighted.
song, but I won't because we got
I was
time
gonna
here
ask
to
you
talk.
guys, did you guys happen to catch the Mike McDaniel's press conference after I think it was yesterday he had?
Yes, I did.
There's some real good tidbits he threw out in there. The one that I seen that stands out in my mind, and I was like, oh, let me go back. I want to hear this again. Was he was talking about the emphasis training they've had, which goes back into the judo and the jiu-jitsu that Tua Tagovailoa has done, and they've actually brought in a sensei or whatever like that, and they're actually working with the quarterbacks on break falls during the whole season. They're going to be working with our quarterbacks on break falls, and I think this is going to be a leg up of us over the competition.
Yeah, I caught that on
They're gonna
PA
fall.
on Total Access. Yeah.
No, I know some people may laugh that
Really,
off, but-
when I see that, when I see that, Justin, I understand that you're looking at it in a positive manner. I look at it like this. I look at it like if you're having to teach your quarterback how to fall. Really, seriously, that's kind of embarrassing.
No, to me, it's any step you take to be better, and this is something they're doing. I mean, I know, yes, it's a little bit. I understand where you can think it's like
I'm
embarrassing.
sorry, man. I gotta laugh.
Yeah, I know. No, it is. Anthony's right as far as
Hey, when you're
yes, you
teaching
don't
a
really
guy
want
how
to
to
put it out there for
fall-
public consumption, but don't you want your team doing anything you can do?
Yeah, no, I under
his helmet.
How
Yeah,
about his new helmet he's got now,
Yeah,
guys?
I
they
know.
got a brand new helmet system too for him as well. So yeah,
yeah,
Yes.
help him on the concussion.
I
Yeah.
hope we fixed our communication issues too, because I saw points during the season last year that our quarterbacks were complaining that they couldn't hear the play coming in, and that's why we had a whole bunch of delay of game penalties.
Oh, you're talking that communication issue. I thought you were talking offensive line communication issues. Like that's
No,
not
I'm talking about the play calling
Yeah.
like
Yeah, no, we getting
Teddy
plays in on
Bridgewater,
time. I
Teddy
agree.
and Skyler complained multiple times during the season when Tua was out with injuries a few times. They complained. You kept on seeing Skyler point to his helmet, complaining that he couldn't hear anything.
Yeah,
Right.
they got to fix the systems in there. That's something that's a technical issue too, though. Obviously, with all this money, you figured they'd have that figured out by now. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest, man. Think about this. Like during that press conference, I also heard him mention Teddy Bridgewater talked about training camp last year, and like you go into September and you're getting hit as a quarterback, right? And then all of a sudden the hitting stops, right? And then you come back to into NFL regular season is going to start. Now you're getting hit again. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? It goes back into the same thing I've talked about on this program numerous times about a body memory, muscle control, and how when you take away the padded practices and the live hitting in practice, you're taking away, these players are getting hurt. And that's why, because there needs to be more, their bodies have to be used to getting hit and tackled all the time. And that's something we used to do in football when you had padded practices during the week. You were always getting hit. Your body was getting used to being hit like
Well,
that.
it's been years, though, since the quarterback's
I
gotten
know, but
hit.
now you're taking it away and you're seeing league-wide, all the injuries are going up. All the concussions are going up. That's why. Because you're taking away the management of your body, the way it needs to train itself in order to play this game.
Yeah, you brought that up on Monday, which was a good point. And yes, the Back It Up Bins podcast at Clock Management in the Bills game was embarrassing. I agree.
It was horrendous, is what it was. It was horrendous.
Yeah, that was horrible. And then they even got confused on what down it was one time, and it was just.
Coach mentioned it. He mentioned it during the press conference.
At least he knows he's self-aware, so he knows he has
penalties will kill you every time you get into any kind of playoff game. Any kind of
game. At least, to me, at least he's not acting like a dweeb like the first press conference. Remember his.
Okay, thank you, Chang.
I'm very sorry. I do apologize.
No problem, Hank. Thank you for joining us, man. Make sure you give that like on my channel. Go.
So that the audio video works.
We can barely hear you, but anyway, give us that thumbs up. Later, guys.
Right,
thank you, Hank. Anyway, that was Hank.
Like I said before, like I said, honestly, for me, at least he's not acting like a dweeb like he was when we first. Remember how dweeby he was acting during the introductory press conference?
Yeah.
At least
he wasn't as crazy as Adam Gase during at New York Jets press conference. So.
Oh Jesus, the Adam Gase where he looked like he was on crack or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah, I know. That was a meme from the minute it hit. You know, it was like that was like all over the internet within a minute. So it's crazy. But yeah,
is there improvements that you want to see with the defense in terms of play calling, Justin?
Yeah, I want to see the get off the field on third down. We were terrible off that last year. You need to make the correct call. And now that you have Fangio defense down there, I'm feeling a lot comfortable with it. I actually caught someone talking about the Fangio defense and what they're getting ready to do and how they're getting ready to disguise it. They'll run a lot of I think what he's called it 4-2 looks, and then they'll also use the
a bear defense.
Yeah, a bear, yeah. They'll use those fronts right there, but they'll mix and match out of it. And obviously they'll come down and use like a jack backer, like I was describing, the star position, which would be, I could see Jalen Ramsey playing a little bit back there, or they could use the corner. I did hear some flashes of OTAs that Cam Smith was making some batted passes and plays.
Yeah, I saw that too. They said he actually did well.
And Justin, see what you're saying is what I've been saying since the beginning, since we drafted Cam Smith, that I think he starts day one, and they're moving Jalen Ramsey to the star position permanently.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right on point, bro. I think that's why they drafted him. They're like, oh, wow, look at this. We can get this level and caliber player, maybe start him over there if he's ready, and then you can mix and match and use the deep backfield. Now it's like a Fangio dream for him. He's like, oh, no way. Like Jalen Ramsey could have big numbers this year off of a move like this.
Yeah, and I've said this too. For me,
Steve, what's up,
I understand the corner position naturally leads the team in interceptions.
Not this
normally, but with how Fangio runs his backfield on defense, I think
safeties are.
Yeah, I think Devon is going to lead the team in interceptions.
Oh, let's hope he has an all-pro caliber season that we were all trying to. We were all trying to put him up there last year.
He had to cover up for Cater. Let's not forget that. He was covering up for
going into the season last year. We had these high standards for him, and it just kind of fell back due to Brandon Jones getting hurt, Cater Cole having him. He has to cover that area. Steve, by the way, you just missed Hank. Missed him by minutes. Hank was in here joining our show today. But please, guys, remember to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Tell your friend and tell another friend.
Thank you, Justin. That's why you're my promoter.
Back to Hank's question. Where do you guys have the Dolphins in the AFC ranked in the AFC?
In the AFC or the AFC East, though?
No, in the AFC as a whole.
Oh, as a whole, like I said, I have an almost, like I say, on par.
Thanks for coming, Hank.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. But
it's okay. all of us have audio issues at some
Oh,
point.
I
Tank.
know.
Yeah.
Don't
Especially when we're
apologize.
doing live shows, that's for sure. So, and Steve, you're welcome to join us. I got a link up there. Hank just left us, so you're welcome to come on in. But if as far as the AFC East, obviously the big boys in the AFC still Kansas City, because I'm old school. Until someone takes the crown off their head, they're the best team.
Like Ric
I
Flair
mean,
says, in order to be the man, you have to beat the man.
right?
And
And right
the
now
man
they're
is the Chiefs.
Yep, without a doubt, they're definitely the team to beat right now. And then the Ravens, they got the contract. That's always been a thorn. Just the past couple of years, we beat them. I'm a little worried about the Ravens, man. And
Bengals
then
are better
the
than the
Bengals,
Ravens.
of course, the Bengals, I'm worried about. So you got the Chiefs.
Oh.
I'm not saying the Ravens are ahead of us, but I think people are sleeping on the Bengals. They got Lamar Jackson coming back without contract issues now. They got all that drama behind them, and they've always been a thorn in our side, other than the last 2 seasons. So the last 2 seasons.
What is Denver radio saying about the Broncos, Justin? Like, are they excited for the maybe having a guy like Sean Payton coaching Russell Wilson, or are they already did they already give up on Russell?
Oh man, that's all the chatter is here on the radio when they bring up football, and Broncos football would be the relationship with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson and the dynamics of it and how it's going to work. Bronco fans are fired up. They got a good leader in Sean Payton. We all know what he can do. He's got experience. He's got a resume to show. They're getting ready to put it together and see if they can make a renaissance out of Russell's career after how it went last year. I think it's going to be a little better for them this season. I think they still have a really good defense and they're talented. I think, who knows? I know the Bronco fans are very excited, though.
Well, that's what I'm hoping that happens to the Jets a little bit, that they have a little bit of Russell Wilson. They have a little bit of Russell. I mean, I'm not putting, Russell Wilson maybe on the same plateau as an Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. But I do agree. I hope they have a little fallback. I hope they have a little fallback
on Hank's question right there. If we did beat them in Germany, I still think the Chiefs are the better team until we beat them in the AFC Championship.
That's what I was going to say, because how many times during these bad years of the Dolphins that we beat New England, and that's like our playoff win, and then they go on.
I'm getting a great experience, actually, Justin. A friend of mine who's in the military, he's living in around that area, and he told me on Facebook that he's willing to pay for my airfare, my hotel, and we're going to be sitting in a box at the Dolphins game in Germany.
That's something that you had never. That's awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, as far I'm with you, Justin, and that's awesome, Anthony. But I'm with you 100% on that take, because how many times did we beat New England and we act like, oh, it's so great, and then they go on to win the Super Bowl, and then we're just talking about, well, at least we beat New England, ha ha ha. I'm tired of it. So until we beat teams in the playoffs and move, that's, to me, when the title can be taken away.
There, what you just said is the fan base. They hang on to those tiny little mediocre wins and those little wins.
I mean, they're good wins, but right.
No, they're meaningless, bro. If I hear another dude mention the Miami Miracle, I'm going to puke. Like, who cares? They won the Super Bowl that year, and you won one measly-ass regular season game. Who gives a rat's ass?
I know. That's how I look at it.
Super Bowls.
Kind of what I say. Just not as hard.
Justin, you know why that is my generation wants to hold on to what you just said, one measly win, because we haven't had any playoff experience and stuff like that, or playoff wins. When we do, we get blown out. That's what it is.
It's because it's time to move the page. We need to get this thing cranking in the right direction and bring Miami football back to what Miami football used to be. We need to be in the playoffs every year. We need to be relevant. And you know what would help everything? Why don't you win a damn playoff game so we can start talking about the good things that we're doing? Like, they need to win. Like, they're not going to – I don't care if we start the season out 7-0. You're not going to see me in here and be like, oh, they're so good, and Tyreek and Jim.
No, I know, because we've watched that movie before.
Until you win. So
we've seen that movie many times before, unfortunately, as Dolphin fans.
Bro. I want to see the real thing. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And then, yes, I know Peyton is a great coach, and hopefully he doesn't really get the Broncos, because it's already tough. But, like I said, I do believe we're ahead of the Broncos, and I do believe we're ahead of the Ravens. But the Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs, those teams,
That's cool,
Or
man.
let's see.
You got to meet Sean Payton a couple times. I think that's cool as shit. Right there.
So you have the Dolphins ahead of just based on the quarterback, specifically. Do you guys have the Dolphins ahead of a team like, let's say, the Chargers?
Well, hey, at least we know what we're going to be able to answer that question week 1.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I would think we should be
team
better
as a
than them.
whole.
Yes, I'm going in that they have to win. That last year's game was just like they stunk. Every team's going to have a game they just stink, and that was like the Dolphins game. They stunk last year. We know they're just coming on double West Coast. I think this year will be a lot to prove against the Chargers, because if you take a hit in the chin the opening week out there in Los Angeles, I almost said out there in San Diego, out there in Los Angeles, you know, that would be awful to start 0-1 with the team.
Speaking of the schedule, Justin, I noticed this with our schedule. Because of the issues last year with our quarterback staying healthy, I think the NFL is penalizing the Dolphins with not giving us a lot of primetime game. Like, we had a lot more primetime game last year, but with our quarterback being injured so much last year, they're not giving we only have 2 or 3 primetime games this year. Did you notice
we got
that?
3, but then we got a couple special games, you know, if you look at it, because we got the Black Friday. It doesn't count as a prime time, but it's like a special day when we're the only team that's got pro football teams that are going to be playing that day. So they did give us a little bit of love. You could say, well, they really did it.
I hope that game is not a curse for us. That Black Friday game.
Yeah, I know. But yeah. So that's why he was saying that's going to tell us a lot about the rivalry right there.
Like, the craziest thing about this whole thing is like, you've heard me say this numerous times. You want to have a successful season, you start off with a win, you go into the bye with a win, you come out of the bye with the win, and you end the season with the win. But to be realistic, the Dolphins need to come out of the gate right off the bat on fire. I don't understand. Like, I don't want to have a slow start. I don't want to be lackadaisical. I don't want to have lapses. I want things to be greasy and moving right off the bat. And the way to do that is to make sure your defense is ready to play, which I expect the defense to be ahead of the offense. That's traditionally how it always starts. But then I expect the offense to pick it up come like week 5, week 6. You start really getting into mode here. And I know, like what Anthony was saying, how traditionally the NFL has fallen off of the running game. Dude, I want to run the ball, bro. Like, and there's certain situations when it comes out there, I want to take pressure off of my overall team and my quarterback, and I want to run. And I want to run to set up the pass. And then I want to have everybody come into the box, and I want to hit you over the top. Then I want them to drop back down into it, and I want Tua to pick them apart over the middle.
So you want me to be satisfied with, like, the dink passes, like, like Anthony was talking about earlier about, like, dumping it off and counting that as a running game. You want the old-fashioned hand it to the running back and pound it up and go. Is what you're talking about.
See, Justin, I have it the other way around. I think we're going to use a passing game to open up the run game. I think that's how it's going to work out.
Either one's fine. I don't think Justin cares which order. He just wants them both. He doesn't care which one's set up.
But the reason why
this is honest. Can you use a play action? I have a question. Can you use play action the other way around, where you can use the play action pass to open up the run game instead of opening it? The play action is usually to open up the pass game because you already established your run game. But can you use it the other way around, Justin? Or is that normally the play action is normally if you already set up your run game?
I think it's for the run, like you just said. It's normally if you set up the run, that'll help you set up the pass. So you have to have the threat of that in order even to set up that pass play. And see, now you're getting into what
we don't see Steve.
I know, I'm trying to find the right banner. Let's see.
See, the traditional running style of like, hey, let's line up 5-on-5, maybe even a fullback and run at them, makes the defense get hit, and then their bodies start to wear down. Fourth quarter comes, the yards become easier, the passes become easier, the blocks become easier. So I think you can have a dimension of using the play action to help you use your running game. But the first thing you would have to do in order to have that help you would be establish a running game. That's why I want to run it between the tackles. I don't really care if you want to dink and dunk and use those 5-yard swings and some Texas routes as some runs. I'm okay with that. But when it comes down to wearing down a defense and being like, yo, I'm going to abuse you today. You need to run between the tackles. You need to stay committed to running between the tackles. And it's because it's an attitude that you're trying to present toward the defense to where you're like, we're going to take the pain to you all game long. So when you start running outside of the box, outside of the tackles, it shows a certain level of non-competitiveness. Yeah. If you want to be competitive, you just take it right to it.
I've talked to you many times, Justin, on and off camera, and you say you don't even care if you're only getting 1 yard of carry to start. You don't abandon. You just keep on pounding it because you're going to get tired even if it's only 1 yard. Eventually, you're going to wear them out, and that 1 yard is going to become 4 yards, and that 4 yards is going to become 6 yards.
6 yards, so on and so on. A football is a battle of wills. It's a game of inches. It's a game one of people who are like, I don't think I can handle this. And another guy on the other side is like, I'm going to destroy you right now, right here. And that's how this game is won and lost, right there.
Well, anyway, welcome, Steve. We're almost at the end of the show, so let me welcome you.
No problem. Thank you.
I know we had our show last night on the Fins Talk Sports Network at 7:30. So, but anyway, anything new and exciting this morning happening in Houston?
No, same old. I'm just going to piggyback on what Justin said. I definitely agree with what Justin said. Football is a game of will, and you got to pound that rock. And that's what I'm afraid of, man. I'm really afraid of. I don't care what Mike McDaniel said. You know, it's just in his DNA.
Yep.
And to pass the ball. And he's got Tyreek Hill. He's got Jalen Waddle. He's got all these weapons now. And I'm just afraid he's not going to utilize these guys the way that they should be utilized. That's me. That's just my opinion. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping that he really isn't sincere in his apologies to Raheem Mostert and said he apologized for not running the ball enough next year. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding, baby. Proof is in the pudding. They ran the ball maybe 40, maybe 35, 40% of the time last year. So I'm hoping this year there's more of a balance, more of a 55, 45, something like that. Or not 55, 45, 55, 35.
No, I know.
No, I was right. 55.
Yeah, I think you were right.
45. Yeah. So that's what I like to see. Tyreek Hill, he was targeted 170 times.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
170 times.
That's too much.
That's just too much.
It's too dependent on one guy, right?
Too much.
If he can narrow that down to 120, 130,
150
even 150 would be great. Jalen Waddle too. Narrow his receptions down. Make balance attack. Throw the ball around. Dink and duck to you got A-Chain now. You got Mostert. He can catch the ball. You got Ingold. You got the weapons to pass the ball around. Let's do it.
No. Well, Hank is saying just today's game is won and lost in the air. If you run while the opponents keep, yes, that's true. If you're falling behind and you've gotten behind in the game, yes, you're gonna almost have to go to the pass. But if you run
disagree.
while the opponent, but
I disagree. And the reason
if you're losing 24 to nothing or something like that, you got to start.
That's of course you're not running the ball when you're down 24.
I think that's what he means. He goes, "Well, keep scoring." That's why I think what he says. If they keep scoring and you're not scoring, you just try to run the ball.
Well, yeah, that's the game of football. Whoever has the most points at the ends wins. That's besides the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is a matter of wills on the offensive line versus the defensive line and running the ball. I don't care if I'm getting a half.
Oh no, it's demoralizing. If you're pounding the ball and you're successful at pounding the ball, it's a lot more demoralizing than giving up 180-yard touchdown pass.
Let me put it to you like this. Just think about what Steve just said right there about the commitment and Mike McDaniel being committed to his running back, committed to running the ball. Imagine what you can do with Mostert and Ingold leading blocking for him, right, and shooting the gaps and getting you chunk yards of like 9, 19, 10. Imagine how you can spread out a defense now. All of a sudden, you got A-Chain in motion. You have a sniffer. Here you go. Cross. Oh, maybe it's a jet sweep. Oh, maybe it's a pass. Oh, and you got Tyreek Hill out here. Oh, my God. Do you understand what you can do with that?
I know.
You could have the Dolphins could be gaining 10, 12 yards every play. Every play. not just every third down or every couple downs, every damn play. And that's why you have to focus the energy to the run, because it's going to definitely open up the pass.
No, I agree with you. It's very demoralizing, because when you talk to the old school defensive players, they said it was a lot more demoralizing when a team would just pound the rock on. They go, they rather give up 180-yard play because you chalk it up to like, okay, someone screwed up a coverage, someone did whatever. Right. But when you're getting a pound and it's just like 4 yards, he said you start getting tired, you start getting frustrated, and it's just like, you know.
Just think about like a defensive guy out there getting pounded, like you're saying. He's like, I'm getting my butt kicked out here. He's like, why am I here? Next thing you know, you're frustrated. You're making bad plays. You're over pursuing. You're aggressive. Next thing you know, they pull a counter trap or something. It's a really hard game.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you listen, go on, Steve.
No, I was gonna say, football is the fundamentals, man. It's not that hard. Nope. It's just a matter of execution. Who wins the battle in the trenches. Yep. And here's the deal. I know I'm going back way back. I'm going back to the 70s when the Dolphins were winning. What were they doing? What were they doing to win? Were they throwing 90-yard bombs, 70-yard bombs? Look, Greasy had a noodle arm. Greasy had a weak arm, but he was an intelligent quarterback, and he knew how to utilize, and read defenses, and he had it pretty easy, really. He just handed the ball to Larry Zonka, Murphy Morse, Jim Kick, and they did the rest in the trenches. They had a tremendous offensive line back in those days.
Yeah, back in the day.
And Larry Zonka has said, I have to give all the credit to my offensive line. That's just how you win.
But that's what Hank says now, though. We don't have the old one.
I disagree.
We don't.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. The reason why he's saying that is because, traditionally we don't have the Hogs, like the Washington Redskins offense, to run power, but you do have an offensive line that's coming together that is going to be able to run outside zone scheme, inside zone scheme. Yes. They can run it to their style of that power I'm talking about. It's not like we can't keep saying, well, we don't have the line to do that, so we got to throw it around all over the place. That's playing right into the defense's hands of what they want you to do, bro. That's why you have to run.
Right. Yeah. No, that's why Giants won the Super Bowl, being it up back, and they kept the ball out of Jim Kelly's hands. I mean, that'd be the best way to beat Kansas City in the playoff game, is to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands.
Yep. Bingo.
I don't care how good you are on offense that day. If you're not, if you get the ball, if the defense is playing well, but they still give Mahomes time to beat you, just ask the Buffalo Bills. He's going to beat you.
You'll lose.
So you gotta, like you said, eat that clock, and when time's running down, make those last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Game over. They never get the ball back.
Of course, everybody wants to air it out. That's the way of the NFL
it's a fun,
is right now.
It's
the sexy thing to do, is to have these receivers like we got and to air it out. And now you got all these beautiful weapons and your shiny new toy. The best thing Mike McDaniel can do is go away from what he was doing last year and be like, I got all these weapons, I need to utilize them. No, go back to what you were known for. You're a run game coordinator. You're a run game guru. Go back and get inventive with the way you're starting to run these runs and use them in a different way. That's why we drafted A-Chain. That's why he wanted to pick up Eric Izukama, because they're going to bring something to the table that we don't have on the team yet.
Nope. I agree, man. Let's just hope it goes well, and they stay healthy this year. It's a big part of it in that area.
Health is key.
Yeah, it's just that's a big key. And then boom, it's going to be a tough division, but I wouldn't want it any other way. If you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Absolutely.
You might as well go out there and have that mentality from day one, knowing that you got to be good every single week.
Every week, dude. Every snap, every game, every second of that game, we just need to give our all, and this team can go places. But it has to start with effort. No one can control the effort that the players put out there. They control that effort that they get and they put forth.
No, he loves it, man. Justin, the Back It Up Ben's podcast, you got his vote, man, because he loves your style of going out there and pounding the rock against these guys and everything.
It's going to open it up. It's going to open everything up, man. If you start pounding the rock on these guys and teams are like, damn, now Miami can run the ball. Oh, wait a minute. They already have two of the most explosive wide receivers in the game. They can throw the ball too. Oh, man, they got a good defense? Yeah, you're in trouble. That's why I want to run the ball, because you start creating that threat. And now people in their minds, defenses have to plan for it. It makes the game that much easier for the Dolphins. Just think about having a good defense with a running game.
Yeah. Well, Anthony wanted you to see just specifically. He said in another quote. He says he wants you to read it. Justin.
I don't think I can trust this offensive line to stay healthy enough to have that consistent running game that Justin wants. That's my main concern. Guess what? That's everybody's main concern. And outside that, you know what he just said right there is all 32 NFL teams have that same concern you have. So guess what? You should put that in the back of your mind and not worry about that. That is something that the coaching staff has to worry about and that the players need to worry about that are behind the starters. And if you don't have confidence that we don't have enough depth back there, that's why they're adding depth. And they're probably not done adding more of it. And they're going to slow cook and bring these guys along. Hopefully the slow cook turns into a quick cook.
Well, I see your one guy you wanted signed back with the team in your area. The Cam Fleming's off the market. He signed with the Broncos.
Yep.
So that's one. I know Reisner's still out there, you say, or whatever. But
guys, look. Let's stop talking about this O-line, okay? They're done with the O-line, okay? They've already told us, and I'm not, and Rob, I'm not one to believe everything the Dolphins organization says.
Right.
But with this O-line and what their action speaks louder than words, they're not worried about it. They're going to go with Austin Jackson and they're going to go with Liam Eichenberg until they're not.
Well, I agree to a degree, but
like Justin said, they brought in enough players now. They brought in Wynn, they brought in Obuhu or Buho or whatever.
Right, I think they will compete. I think it's going to be a real competition.
Actually, Obuhi was making some good plays on the offensive line in the OTAs the other day. From what I
he's
understand.
good, dude. I'm telling you,
he was doing
player.
well, and that's without Armstead. Connor Williams wasn't there.
Yep, I heard.
The only starter was Hunt. Only starter was Hunt. Now, I grant you the O-line was getting cooked by the D-line.
Yeah.
But Obuhu or Buhi, he was holding his own. So
yeah, he's good.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Who knows? Maybe he'll beat out Jackson or one of those guys.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to see them start out with the guys they want, which is their draft picks, which is Liam, and Austin, and then what's going to happen is someone like Cedric Bowie is going to take his spot, and then someone like Wynn's going to push Liam in order to you either play really good or you're out of here because Wynn will take your spot because he's that good to take it.
He is.
I think Wynn is the key here. I think they're going to mix and match him into the spots where they need help. If it's on the right side, fine. If Cedric O can play over there, great. We can move Wynn over to the left side now. So that's their movable piece would be Isaiah Wynn, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think.
And also Wynn would be a good depth player for Armstead when he goes down.
It's great that you said that because I think that's their whole focus behind signing Isaiah Wynn. Is 100%. To resurrect his career, and hopefully he can stay healthy like Tyron Armstead. But maybe when Armstead's done and moves on to coaching or whatever he's going to do in his life later after football, maybe Wynn can move over there to the left side and maybe play some left tackle for us. I think that's the vision the Dolphins have.
That's when he played his first 3 years in the league, and so he has the experience, and it won't be as drastic as a downfall as it was last year. But
I will tell you this about Wynn: he can play anywhere on the offensive line.
Oh yeah, he's good. That's it, and that's what the Dolphins seem to like in their offensive linemen because they know
Connor Williams.
I know they like guys that can move around, be versatile. That's why they signed Feeney because he can play center or guard. So they like these guys that because they know that during the course of an NFL season, no matter what team you are, there's going to be injuries. So this at least they do have a game plan for it. Now, whether they're the stars that we want on the line, that's a whole different story. But we got the bodies at least, and Hank tells you they're not done yet, Steve. Come post June 1st, so we'll see.
Maybe. Is he talking about the O-line?
You said
I don't know about the O-line or the team adding pieces in general. I don't know, but
I think they're done adding on the O-line.
They might be.
That's my opinion.
They might be.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this though. Say, for instance, like Cedric Bowie beats out Austin Jackson, and maybe Isaiah Wynn beats out Liam Eichenberg. What does that do for the overall offensive line of the Dolphins now? Because I don't think that it hurts it in any which way.
No,
I think it improves it. And the reason why is because now Liam Eichenberg can go back to being a backup, either swing tackle, swing guard. Same thing with Austin Jackson. It improves our overall depth is what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. And we'll see what happens when actual training camp starts. You know, that's when we're going to get a feel for who's going to be the starters, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have the starters, you know, they're going to put them in place at the start of training camp if they're smart, which I hope they are.
I hope so too.
You know, and I'm pretty sure that those are going to be the starters until they lose the job,
like,
you know, or someone goes down in the regular season.
It's just like you said, Steve, so beautifully. They're the starters until they're not.
Yeah. Hey. So a real quick yes or no on his question.
No.
No. Okay.
No,
There
they
you
run
go.
more of the.
That's for you, Anthony, on Taylor
gap.
Lewan.
I can't read it. I have my glasses.
It says just Taylor Lewan fit the blocking scheme that McDaniel is trying to run with this line.
No.
Okay.
It's more of a traditional.
You're my digging in the
power
trenches.
gap.
So for the digging in the trenches questions, I go to my man Justin, so he knows. So that's good. And Steve, thank you. Hank, Ender,
Absolutely.
Anthony, and all you guys. I know Colorado, you will watch us in the after. So Colorado, he reached out to me and told me he had reached out that he still watches us. So big
Kevin,
kudos
that's my
to
boy
you.
Kevin. He's cool.
Yeah, Kevin is also
Yep.
he's named Colorado on here.
Colorado Explorer.
Thank you guys for being regulars and making us grow. And before I forget, please like and subscribe.
Hit that
It's
like
been a
button.
pleasure. As always, guys, thank you for joining. And now they're going to get a little
Absolutely.
Dolphin thirsty theme music to close their day out.
Let's
here.
close it out.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having
later,
me on,
guys.
Yes,
Hands
anytime.
up.
Thanks for
Dolphins
stopping
number
by,
one
Steve.
in honor of Steve. Dolphins number one.
Dolphins number
Yeah.
1, baby.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins thirsty.